Hi, kindergartners. Okay, for today's adding activity, we are going to be doing some review because you guys are adding experts. So I want you to go grab a counter. So if you want to grab your circle counters, you can grab your circle counters. I grab my cubes. Those are going to be my counters. I have 2 color whiteboard markers. So I have 2 colors. So we gave you guys a new color, and then you guys have your black. So I have 2 colors, whiteboard markers. I'm going to need my adding strategy sheet and my adding mat. On the back is your part whole strategy. And then the last tool, the way you're going to get your adding equations today is with your playing cards. So I need you to go grab all these materials and come on back.
That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of stuff. So take a look here at what you need.
And pause.
And press pause and go grab those things and then come on back. Okay, kindergartners, before we start today, I want us to do some review because you have been adding experts. You've been doing such a great job, and I want us to review some of the strategies that we learned about adding. First of all, do you guys remember what adding means? Adding means put together. Do you guys remember our chant? Part, put together, whole new number, bigger number. Now, we've learned some strategies. We've learned how to use counters. I can use counters. So remember, anything can be a counter. We've used cubes. We use circle counters. Some of you have used your teddy bears or puff balls. You've used beans or Legos. But remember, the only rule are erasers. The only rule is that they have to look different or they have to be 2 different colors. That way we can see each group. And you guys are really great at that strategy. Another strategy we've learned is part, whole. And that's what's on the back of our adding mat is our part, whole strategy. You guys have learned to take 2 groups and put them together to make the whole new number. And that's a strategy for adding. And then last couple weeks, we've been focusing on I can use a picture. So we learned how to draw pictures, which remember in math, it's a quick sketch. So you've been really great at using quick sketches, pictures, to show your adding problem. And we even got to make adding stories last week, which was a lot of fun. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to use our playing cards to help us get an adding equation. And then we're going to decide how we want to solve it, since we have so many ways we could. So when we pull the problem today, you're going to think, do I want to solve that problem today using counters? Or maybe I want to solve that problem drawing pictures because I have 2 different whiteboard markers I could use. Or maybe I want to turn my adding board over and use my part whole mat. I could use my counters on my part whole mat. I could draw pictures on my part whole mat. Or you could just draw pictures on the back. It's up to you to choose your strategy. Whatever you feel like you want to make sure you practice, get a little extra practice out. Okay, so let's choose our first equation. You're going to need your cards today. I'm going to do the first one with you, and then you'll continue after pulling your cards. So I'm going to pull all my cards out. And the first thing we have to do before we get started is we have to turn them over and we have to take out our jokers. And we need to take out any of our cards that have faces on them. So your jacks, your queens, your kings, you're going to need to take all those cards out. So I'm going to look through. Oop, there's a jack, there's a queen, there's a king. Let's see. Oop, jack, queen, king, and another joker, and a jack, queen, and king. So I'm going to take all those out, our jokers, and then all our jack, queens, and kings. Those are all our face cards. We're not going to use those today. I'm going to put those to the side, not too far away, because I want to make sure I get them back in my bag or my box when I'm done. So I'm left with just the number cards and aces. And aces are going to be 1. So if you pull an ace card today, you'll know it's a 1. All right. So I'm going to shuffle my cards now that I've taken out all my face cards. If you need to, press pause and take them out. Or if you need help, you can grab a grown-up to help you. So now I am going to shuffle these real quick. And then we're going to pull an equation. All right. So I am ready. I'm going to pull 2 cards. Ooh, 8 is going to be my first part. And, ooh, this is going to be a hard one. Ooh, we got a big one for the first one. Okay, so our first part's going to be 8 plus 9. So my first part is 8 So I'm going to write that on my, this one. All right, now that I drew my cards, drew two of them. I have one part plus my other part. So now I'm going to write my number sentence and my adding language so I know what I'm doing before I pick a strategy. So my first part is 8. So I'm going to draw 8 in my equation. And my next part is 9. So my equation that I'm going to be solving is 8 plus 9 equals, or 8 and 9 makes, And now's the fun part. I get to decide what strategy I want to use to solve my problem. I can use counters. I could use my part whole mat. I could draw pictures. And you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to actually turn my mat over. And I'm going to write my two parts. I'm going to do 8 plus 9. And I think I'm going to use my counters and my part whole strategy. So I'm going to do 2. Now I'm going to use my cubes as my counters. So my first group, I'm going to do 8. I want you to press pause and do this problem along with me, kindergartners. And then for the next one, you'll choose the strategy you're going to do. So I got to fit 8 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I can't use pink again. It has to be a different color or has to look different. So now I'm going to do 9 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So whatever counter you grabbed, I want you to make your board look just like me. I decided to use the part whole strategy and using counters. So I'm using 2 strategies. So once I have my 2 parts, you guys know what we have to do. We have to put it together. And then I can't count it like this. I have to organize it. Otherwise, I won't know. So I'm going to organize it into rows. And then I will count and touch. Okay.
Well, that's a lot.
I know. I'm going to start here and I'm going to end here. And I'm going to go across the rows. You guys ready to count with me? Press pause if you're not. And then unpause when you're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 8 and 9 make 17, which is a 10 and 7 more. Or a 1 and a 7 is 17. So 8 plus 9, I'm going to write it down here. 8 plus 9 equals 17, or 8 and 9 makes 17.
Good job, Miss O.
All right, kindergartners. Now I'm gonna show you what I'd like you to do for the next few. Okay, I'm gonna erase my board. I'm gonna take my 2 cards that I just did, and I'm gonna keep them safe right next to me, and I'm gonna draw 2 new cards. Ooh, I grabbed a 2 and a 2. This one's not gonna be too hard. I think you guys can do this one after the one we just did. I would like you to choose a strategy. Choose any of the strategies we've learned and solve this problem. And then I want you to do it 4 more times. So after I do this problem and I practice a strategy, I'm going to do it again. You don't have to do mine. You're going to draw yours. Ooh, that one's going to be a tricky one. So that'd be another time 1. Then I'm going to do it another time 2. Then I'm going to do it another time 3. And then I'm going to do 1 more. So that I did 4 problems.
Miss O, do you have to use the same strategy every single time?
No, we would love for you to practice using all different kinds of strategies. So draw pictures. Then maybe solve it using counters. You decide what you want to use. Try and practice all of them. It's a great activity for us to review all the strategies we've been learning. So when you are done, we'd like you to take a picture of one of the problems you solved. And take a picture of your mat. If you used pictures, take a picture of your adding mat. If you use part whole, take a picture of your part whole mat. If you use counters, show us your counters. And even better, kindergartners, if if you want to take a video and walk us through your math thinking on how you solved your adding problem, we'd love to hear your math thinking. So remember, you're going to do 4 more problems by yourself and then take a picture or a video of what strategy you used and how you did your adding. And remember, you can use all the strategies that we've learned. And when you're done, remember that good kindergartners clean up. And we're going to have a lot to clean up. We have our cards that have to get back in the box. We have our cubes that have to go back in our toolbox. We have our adding mat and our strategies that need to go back, our pens. So make sure you clean up like a very organized and responsible kindergartner. Can't wait to see your math thinking.